Guys, I have another message today, and I feel the Lord is telling me to speak on a topic that a lot of people go through in their lives. But talking about career choices and just things that they might want to get into, but sort of feel pressured into getting into something else. Like, I have this friend, right, and this person has this passion inside of them to do one thing, but they've been pressured by outside people to get into something else, right? So that's what I'm here to talk about right now. I've never had that happen to me, right? But yeah, it's just, sometimes people go through that. And when you have something in your heart, stirring up in your heart, and some people have this one passion that they desire to get into. From the time they're born, they just know that that's what they want to get into. But as they're growing up, there are other people, surrounding them that are kind of molding them and steering them towards another direction that they want that person to get into. And that's very stressful, because the passion that you have, that those people or you might have inside yourself from the time you're small, that's something that's you already identify that, right? Like, a lot of people don't know what they want until they get older. But for those of you who do know, right, that passion, that's something that you've already identified. God put that in you. Like, God's put a lot of stuff in us, right, that we have to discover. But for some people, they just know. They just know what they want to be, right? And so it's been stirring up inside that person for years and years and years. And then, they get older, and they're still being pressured by other people in their lives, whether that be family, relatives, or friends, or even best friends, or spouses, or a girlfriend or boyfriend. And they're being pressured into doing something that it's just not in them. And they do it, they do it for a long time. And then it comes to the point where it boils up. Like, it starts to boil and boil and boil, and then until it explodes. And once it explodes, then that's when, like, they're like, hey, I can't take this anymore. I've either got to, do what I want, what I'm feeling inside, that passion inside of me, or, I might end up going crazy. That happens to people, Some people, they end up having a nervous breakdown because of all the things that people were telling them the entire lives, that they were supposed to be this way, when really they weren't supposed to be like that, and they gave in to that because of the pressure, guys. Pressure is hard, especially when you're the only one who is standing for yourself with whatever it is that you have inside of you. So, yeah, this friend that I have, right, for such a long time, they knew what they wanted, but because of those pressures, they suppressed it. They suppressed it. But just recently they realized, hey, the way I've been living my life, which is for other people, that's not for me, because that's not even their identity. Like, that's not my identity. I've got to follow what I have, and whatever is burning inside of her or him, that's the passion that God put in that person. So they need to, like, let it flower, and when you let that flower, then you feel very free. I have this friend, and we were just talking about this 2 days ago. This friend, like, he told me that he has a relative who, his parents, like, they forced him into medical school. They forced him into medical school, and he doesn't remember at what point this happened, but he was, doing his studies in the university, and he said that one day he couldn't take it anymore, and it's like he had a serious nervous breakdown, and they took him away on a stretcher from the university. That's how bad it got, right? He did not want to become a doctor. That's just what his family wanted. His parents wanted that for him. And so now he's doing what he wants to do. I think, I forget what my friend told me he's doing, but I think he's something to do with photography, or some kind of maybe painting, or something like art stuff, So, and he's very happy now with what he's doing. I mean, he's in his right mind, right? So yeah, so today's message has to do with, if you have something stirring up inside you that you know what it is that you want to do, and there are people forcing you to do something else, then it's time to put your foot down. You know, you don't want to end up having a nervous breakdown. And, sorry. Hi, Uma, she's down over there. I can't pan the camera down there because the camera's way over there, and I've got to stay here. So, yeah. Anyway, you have to finish talking to you guys. So anyway, yeah, so if you guys have a passion in your heart, and you know that that's what you want, then you got to go for it, you know. And there are a lot of people are intimidated to speak up for themselves because it's been so long since people have been pressuring them into doing things, especially when it comes to your parents, right? Your parents, or maybe an older sibling, older brother or sister, or an uncle. But it's like the pressure comes a lot more when it comes from your parents. And sometimes, you know, even when it comes to your parents, you have to speak up. You just have to say, you know, hey, you know, Mom, Dad, this is not what I want. And maybe it's something they've heard before, and they might dismiss you, but then, no, but you really have to put your foot down this time and say, hey, this is not what I want. It's affecting me mentally, emotionally, and psychologically. It's affecting me, and I'm not going to be happy. And, you know, I can't continue on this way. So there has to be a way that you need to understand me, right? So that's the way, you know, you should approach your parents in that way. Always respectful, of course, because they're your parents. You know, we have to respect our parents. But you need to speak up, right? Because who wants to end up in the hospital because of something that we're being pressured to do that was never, we were never called to do that, right? God's the one that has the desires. I mean, He's the one that places the desires in us. He's placed a lot of desires in us, right? And He's the only one that can reveal that stuff to us. Some people already know what those desires are, right? Some of us know one desire. Some of us know more than one desire. Some of us don't even know what desire we have. So we have to ask God, you know, Lord, please reveal to me, what purpose was I created for? What do you want me to do? I have no idea. I have no clue as to what I want to do in my life. So then you need to ask the Lord every day. For those of you who don't know, you know, ask the Lord every day, what is my purpose here? What are my interests? Show me, and He'll show you. He will show you, whether it's audibly, like, you know, he'll actually talk to you, or he'll talk to you through a show, or through a person that you might meet, or through somebody that you know. There are many ways that He talks to you. But keep asking Him, and He will show you. Maybe through a book that you might read when you walk into a library or a bookstore one day, or a pamphlet, like a little flyer that you might see, like when you're outside somewhere. He will tell you. But keep asking Him, you know. And for those of you guys who aren't dealing with pressures from your parents, you know, pressures from brothers, sisters, best friends, relatives, put your foot down. It's your life, right? Put your foot down. You know, it's your life that, I mean, they're messing with your life, and you can't continue to allow them to do that, because the whole picture is, it's God's life, right? Your life belongs to God, so it's His life that they're messing with, so you need to put your foot down about that. I also I knew of a friend many years ago, and we were talking about this also. He told me that his parents forced him to go to law school, and he failed on purpose. It was not what he wanted to do. He failed on purpose. He wanted to become a designer, and he's a designer, and he's very successful today. Yeah, so, you know, it was unfortunate that, you know, he failed on purpose, right? But that's how serious it is when people force another person to get into something that was never their passion or their desire, right? There's a lot of money gets wasted, and time, you know, and it affects the person emotionally. Like it affects their mental state. So, you know, I don't want any of you guys that are being forced into things you don't want to do to end up like some of the people that I've known, you know, who've nearly, you know, gone kind of, well, I've never met anyone who's gone kind of cuckoo, but that one friend who was forced to almost became a lawyer, that could have affected him also, and he failed on purpose. And then there was my other friend whose cousin was nearly forced to become a doctor. Well, he was forced to go to medical school, and then he was pulled on a stretcher, and that's serious. So, that's my message for today. And you know, just ask God for strength, because some people need strength to speak up for themselves. You know, a lot of people need strength. I've been there too. You know, when you need to develop the boldness to speak up to people. I've been there too, and I've come a long way when it comes to speaking up for myself. You know, we all learn. We're all on you know, different what do I want to say? Like, everybody's at a different level in their growth, right? In Christ, we're all at different levels, and we all have different strengths as we go along, right? And the Lord is helping us to develop those strengths and qualities, and we're learning how to become more like Him. Like, I always ask the Lord, Lord, teach me how to operate through all of your attributes, right? To be just like Him. So then, when we learn to be just like Him, then we won't be afraid of who might come at us with whatever, right? So some of us are just starting out with boldness, you know, and others are like in the middle, and others are like way ahead, like they can just speak their minds, right? I'm continuing on to, like, for myself, I've developed a lot of boldness, right? And I'm continuing to get stronger. So yeah, guys, develop your boldness. The Lord Jesus can help you. So that's my message for today. And I wanted to show you guys something. Jimmy came by yesterday, and he saw the hat. And he said, whoa, that's a huge hat. I didn't know it was going to become that big. But anyway, he told me that he likes it. He likes the colors. And because it's going to be so big, he would like for me to add a bill. You know, like a baseball hat, right? A baseball hat has that bill, right? That part where it shields your eyes from the sun. So he would like for me to, yeah, just put a bill here or something. Yeah, so I'm gonna continue. I'm still working on making it tighter around here, like around the edges, like all around the edges here, and hopefully I will still know what I'm doing, and something nice will result. Okay guys, so when it's finished I'll show you guys. And I'm done.